Good morning, everyone. It gives a great pleasure to welcome Ms. Kristy second from Saskatchewan colleges. It looks up the entire international admissions in Saskatchewan colleges. It's great to have you here, Kristy.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
I think a lot of students also have a lot of questions about Canada and Saskatchewan in particular as well. I think it would be great to have some answers on those questions from you.
Sure.
My first question is, why do you think students should go to Saskatchewan? And maybe if you can talk about Canada as well, those these students have more about what as a destination.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Canada has always offered some incredible opportunities for international students, particularly those from North India. And, we heavily rely on the workforce that our international students provide, as well as the dynamic cultural infusion that they bring too. So I think that's something that Canada certainly looks forward to. In terms of Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan has always been a great location for international students because I always like to say that it offers them all of the things that they need to be successful. The province of Saskatchewan has a low cost of living in comparison to Toronto and Vancouver, 50% less in some cases. So a great opportunity for them to save some money. The job market in Saskatchewan is very, very strong. And the economy in Saskatchewan, because it's based on things like agriculture, oil, and potash, remains strong even in economic downturns in other parts of the country. So this means that, for the most part, jobs are always readily available in the province of Saskatchewan. This is great for international students because, of course, when they're done their program, they look for a job. So it works out really well for them.
Uh, uh, just taking this forward, can we talk a lot of the housing crisis? How this mission in Saskatchewan, especially for international students, or easy or difficult to find housing, especially for students coming on here?
Right. So, with the new policy changes, we were left with about 4 programs that were postgraduate work permit eligible. But luckily, all of those 4 programs are ones that relate directly to labor market need. So, the continuing care assistant program, early childhood education, carpentry and heavy equipment, truck and transport are all areas that have really strong job opportunities. I think that's was a bit of a win for us in terms of programs, but definitely those areas are ones that are not only in need now, but they're kind of always needed. So like the like elder care and child care, those are things that don't go away. They're always needed. So I think the opportunity for students to have employment not only soon after they graduate, but long into the future is a good chance for them.
And you can now require these kind of solutions a lot. Not just Saskatchewan, I think that's a requirement across Canada.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely like continuing care assistant, early childhood education, those things are definitely always required. The trade programs, again, very highly sought after in not only Saskatchewan, but across the country.
Great. Because continuing the discussion that we were having earlier as well, international, especially coming from India or from North India, coming to a different country, it's a huge cultural transition for them.
Right.
So, how do you think you can your college support them in the entire transition for they will adjust a new environment and take care of the new studies as well?
No, that's a good question. So what I'll say about the Saskatchewan colleges is that I think student support is one of the things we do best. When students arrive in our colleges, they're connected to advising staff that really take their role very seriously. They really want the students to feel comfortable. They want them to feel settled. They support them in many, many different ways. So the advising staff at each of our campuses are exemplary in terms of, kind of touching base with the students continually, making sure that they're doing okay. So I think that's important. But I also think that one of the things that we do well is trying to bring the students' culture into our colleges. So I think that's one way to make students feel like at home almost, like having them demonstrate their culture to our domestic students and other students from other countries is such a special way to share, things that are familiar to them. And sometimes when that happens, then, I think that makes them feel more comfortable. So definitely, I think that's one area where we excel.
Uh, One last question. A lot of students in class 12 in India, they just finished like their exams.
Yeah.
They just mates are aiming for, say, Saskatchewan colleges. What advice would you give them if they want to come to your colleges?
I guess, as a
Colleges.
I guess as an educator myself, I think it's important for students to think about their future, right? And when they think about their future, I want them to think about, what is it that they have a passion for? What do they want to do with their lives? And although that's a lot to ask for a 18-year-old. I do think that it is a good, valuable kind of soul-searching exercise for them to do. Once they kind of determine the areas that are their passions or things that they're really interested in, choose learning that complements that. So, if your passion is helping people, maybe you want to look at healthcare or early childhood education. If you've always been someone who was passionate about working with your hands or, putting things together, taking things apart, maybe the trades are for you. So yeah, think about how your passions can connect to your learning, and then pursue that.
Great. I think I really put it right way down. Find your passion and follow your passion.
Exactly. You can't go wrong.
Thanks a lot, Kristy. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure entirely.